One of my daughters just came from school and she bought this. Yeah, I'm back. How are you doing? Oh my God, my ball will soon start. Daddy, we love you. We love you too, bro. So first of all, let me ask you guys: is your home? Honestly, I like my cup. I have a whole collection. Is your home really an asset? Very important question. Let me bring some water here. Chuma,
Can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you clearly.
Yes, I can.
Can you hear? Hey, ODK. Can I Tonto for 1 minute? Tonto, this thing you typed, I just want you to use your mouth to say it. You are too intelligent. But I don't want to talk him. Tonto, just 1 minute, just say it and go. That's all I need. Just say it and go. Tonto let. Ambassador, king, aspiring governor. Just say this thing you want to say and just go. Hey, Tonto cannot join us live. Big shout out to her. Anyway, what's going on?
Good. I'm in Florida. Yeah.
You're in Florida. So this conversation is my home an asset? Tell me. There's so many people listening now. There's about 117 live on TikTok, about 23 on YouTube, about 178 on Facebook, and 300 plus right here on Instagram. So tell me, Chuma, is your home an asset?
Is my home what?
Is your home an asset?
So, simply put, your home is not an asset. Yes. It's not an asset.
Home is not an asset.
And I'm going to explain all of that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be an interesting session. You see, what I like to tell you is, unless your parents made $1 million in their lifetime, you should not collect financial advice from them. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who said he cannot collect financial advice from anybody that is not richer than him. What your parents taught you about life, I can tell you, 80% wrong, because not trial and error. They go there, they try. The one we walk, the one we no walk. But what they did is, the one we walk, the one we no walk, they imbibe all into you. So you are just going, carrying the burden of a previous generation without doing your own research to validate or discard the beliefs that were handed over to you. So please, we need people to wake us up. We need people, our imaginations. We need people to get us on track. And one of them is Mr. Chuma right here. Chuma, how are you doing today? And those of us that don't have financial literacy like you have, why do you consider this not to be an asset?
Simply put, a home, right? A lot of people consider their primary home to be an asset. Okay, now I disagree with that, and this is the reason. Okay, an asset is something that holds value and doesn't take away from you. Your primary home, okay, costs you a whole lot of money just to live inside it. It takes money on a monthly basis away from you, okay? And if something happens, let's say there's a damage, okay, and your insurance cannot cover it, it still takes money away from your pocket, from whatever you have worked in your job. You have to fix the problem. It's taking money away from you. How can that be an asset? An asset is supposed to be cash flowing, income producing property. Okay, that is an asset. Something that is taking money away from you on a steady basis is not an asset. Okay, yes. Should you own a property? Sure, you should. I do. Okay, and I have a whole lot of them. And guess what? In the Western world where I live, okay, so let's in December every year. This is every year. Okay, I write checks running into thousands, okay, just to keep the property. We call it property taxes. Okay, it takes money away from you. The only good thing is it doesn't come from my pocket. I have people that pay the money to me. You see that? So it's an income producing asset. Okay, so that's yeah.
You see,
Yes.
I know where you're coming from. In this, right now, my mother is renovating our Ibadan house at the cost of 10 million naira. Hayford's house too in Port Harcourt needs renovation, and they're going to spend at least 3 million naira. So you need to understand that even if we're renting that house out, that has to come from your rent money or from your residual income somewhere else. So for you to be able to understand how property works properly, you have to listen to the experts. Omasomas, big shout out. He's just sending me some gifts. He's enjoying the topic so much on TikTok. So, how do we make our homes assets? How do we differentiate between assets and liabilities? How are we guided in such a way that we're able to doctor our lives or tailor our lives, as the case may be, away from a liability lifestyle to an asset-based
Okay, so this
lifestyle?
is what you do. Let's say you already, own your home. Okay, and I'm pretty sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. It takes money away from you. Okay, if you live in a high property tax state, let's say in Texas, you understand perfectly what I'm talking about. Okay, so now to make your house not to be a liability, you have to find a way to generate cash flow, positive cash flow from it. Okay, and you can do that by one. Okay, you can rent out a part of your house. Let's say you have a secondary, we call it a additional unit, okay, in your home. You can rent it out. You can put it on Airbnb. You see that? And generate positive cash flow, sufficient enough in some cases to even cover your mortgage or whatever your expenses is on your primary home. Now you live rent free. This is what I keep, telling people. Okay, so you can do that. That's one way. Another way you can do that is to do what we call house hacking. Okay, so house hacking is this. Okay, let's say you want to buy your home right now. Okay, for those that haven't bought, I mean, this is an opportunity to get it right. Okay, now you buy a house that have, let's say, a duplex, or triplex, or fourplex, we call it. Okay, that's where you have a house that can contain duplex. We call it a house that can contain, two separate families. Triplex, three separate families, just like the flat system, in Nigeria. Okay, so now you can legally live in one of the houses, in one of the units, let me put it that way, and rent the other ones out. And the income you generate from the other three or two, as the case may be, in most cases, is enough to cover your primary expenses. So that means you're living rent free. You're not paying any mortgage on the part you're living, because it's generating positive cash flow. You see that? So that's how you can turn what could have been a liability, sucking money out of you every month, to where you don't even have to come out of your pocket to pay your monthly mortgage. If you have mortgage, you see that? So that is one, two areas that I mentioned right now. One, you can put it on Airbnb. You can, if you have extra space in your house, you can generate positive cash flow. You can rent it to Airbnb, put it on Airbnb, generate some money. Okay, and if that cannot happen for you, depending on if you want to share your house, if you have an extra dwelling unit, which sometimes we call mother-in-law apartment. Okay, now you can rent it out, generate some cash flow. So that's how you convert what could have been a liability, taking money away from you. And guess what? In the diaspora, okay, if you don't pay your property taxes, you stand to lose that house. Yes. If you don't pay, you stand to lose the house, and the house will be foreclosed, sold for less than it's worth. Yes. So I mean, so technically, you are living in there, with one leg, while the other leg is outside. If you don't pay your property taxes, most likely within a year, you're getting out of the house.
Now, how do people share in this your wealth of knowledge? Because a lot of people are just in their homes doing things, like I say, the traditional way. I was having a conversation with someone today, and I learned and I spoke about something. You see, I don't do things traditionally. I do things that give results. Some people up in the morning by 6 a.m. If I don't have anything, I'm waking up in the morning by 6 a.m. Why do I have to wake up at 6 a.m.? Because it is somebody's tradition. It is not going to be my tradition unless I can prove that if I wake up 6 a.m. every morning, I'll be able to make an extra 5 million at the end of the year. Or I'll be able to get something else that I don't have, emotionally, psychologically, financially, health-wise, or in any other way. But as long as I'm seeing results, I'm not doing it. And people understand that mentality. Many people just do things. Oh, yes, it's good to get a mortgage, so I get a mortgage. It's good to get a house, so I get a house. My problem is, are you doing it because you understand what you're doing, or you are doing it because you were taught that that is what you should do? So there are people who need to be schooled, people who need to be guided, people who need to be shown that, look, this is how you do it. Do you have sessions for those kind of people?
So I do a mentorship. I offer mentorship in my classes. So it's something that you can go to my site, www.wealthfasttrack.com.
Okay, have it typed out so I can pin it. Wealthfasttrack.com.
Yes.
So ask the question, between building and buying Furbish, which is more cost effective?
I didn't get what you said. It kind of break.
Mute. Is it better now. Mute your mic. Mute. Hear me now. You can hear me better now. Between building and buying to refurbish, which is more cost effective? So Jolly just asked that. I pinned it for you so you can see.
Okay, so to refurbish is way cost effective than building from the ground up. So that's a simple, yeah. One is that it takes lesser time if you know what you're doing. And if you try to build from the ground up, it takes a whole lot of time. There are a whole lot of permits that you have to go for, and sometimes it takes a longer time. Everything has to be done by the book, to the nitty-gritty, with city officials coming to check every step of the way. It adds to the time. Sometimes, depending on the city where you are, it might be 1 year still trying to get, some approvals. Okay. So yes, to refurbish or rehab is way faster, cost effective than to build from the ground up.
Amazing. A lot of us, I'm sure, didn't know this. So the question has been answered. It is more cost effective to build from the ground up. To refurbish than to build from the ground up. www.wealthfasttrack.com. I'm so sorry. Always mute your mic when I'm talking. And this is why, because all the background noise from your mic is cutting me off. So Instagram needs to fix their bugs. And while they're at it, let us not lose the opportunity to engage such intellectuals as you in this particular domain. Now, I want to talk to you. What's the most money you have made from investing in property?
Okay, so I would say on a single transaction, $100,000.
Yes.
Actually, 100 and something thousand.
Wow. So you can make that much money bulk from one transaction.
Yes. If you know what you're doing in a fix and flip, you can make more than that, way more than that.
How long did it take you to fix and flip?
One, it depends on the scope of the work. Okay, but generally look at like 6 weeks and above.
6 weeks.
If it's not a whole lot of work.
Is this profit pre-tax or profit after tax?
So this is a profit pre-tax.
How much tax do you pay on that?
Well, you're in business, okay, and that's one of the advantages of owning a business. You have a whole lot of write-off. You can, write everything off. For instance, my stay here is a write-off, 100%. So, yeah, you can write everything off. Take the losses. I mean, I don't want to go into taxes, but it's something that we take advantage of being in the business. So yeah, it's not to pay any taxes at all.
Understanding what to. Now, I want to ask you a personal question. Have you lost money in a fix and flip situation?
I have not, but I have come close. And that was my very first fix and flip. I came close, but I was able to sell and leave. I didn't finish. I could have taken a loss. My very first one. So that's why I keep, talking about mentorship. You need to, someone that have done this, that is doing this, okay, to guide you, to take you, lead you by experience. And I had mentors.
Now, I need you to change the angle of your camera. We're only seeing you as a shadow. We're not seeing your face. The light is behind you. Sorry, the light is in front of you. So turn your camera 180 degrees. so you, hey, no, you don't come out again. Now, so your hands on people no confuse see you. Go more to the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. A bit more, a bit more, a bit more. Yes.
Okay.
So we can now see your face now. Which shadow? Which bring come in life today? This shadow they tell us they make we do fix and flip. This shadow feed do us bad thing. But now they don't see in a real person. www.wealthfasttrack.com. You said you wanted to bring someone.
Yes. So this person was in the last masterclass. So I want the person to actually share what they
understood and what they gained. Okay. That. All right. Let me bring Cobb Dami. Cobb Dami. Cobb Dami. Learn something in this session, very important. So Cobb Dami, come over and learn. A lot of you guys are in America. You see, earlier on today I talked about the bread of sorrow. And let me just share the story with you. When I was much younger, I stumbled upon a very scary Bible verse. Psalm 127 verse 2. Let me open it for you. Psalm 127 verse 2. If you read it in the King James Version, it says, because then it was King James we were reading back then, before we knew better. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrow, for he giveth his beloved sleep. Meanwhile, if you read it in the NLT, which is a much better translation, it says, it is useless. Listen to the word, useless, for you to work so hard from early morning until late at night, anxiously working for the food you eat, for God gives rest to his beloved ones. It is useless for you to wake up early in the morning and work so hard till late at night from early in the morning. It is useless because God gives rest. Now, a lot of people don't realize this. Real estate is a kind of endeavor where you go into and you don't have to eat the bread of sorrow if you know what you're doing. Remember, Daddy Freeze gives no shorty. Some of you say Daddy Freeze is because it's you. Don't do anything because it's me. Use your brain. Daddy Freeze is not a financial advisor. Any financial decision you make, you do it at your own risk. But while you're at it, remember that those who don't take risks also have issues. It is risky not to take risk. But like I'm trying to tell you, your risk is not on my head, it's on your head. Now, there are people who don't have to run the rat race to survive. There are some people who have to do 3 jobs to survive. You are eating the bread of sorrow. And there are people who will make more money in one transaction. You heard what the guy said, $100,000, which is about how much a nurse earns in a year before tax. Unless the nurse does a lot of overtime. The average nurse earns about $100,000 a year. This young man here is telling you that he did it in one transaction because he knew what he was doing. I remember a story I was told in primary school. A machine in one textile company broke down and nobody could fix it. And they called one guy, and the guy got there. He went into the machine room. He turned 3 switches, flicked on and off 2 other switches, and pulled down one handle, and the machine started working. Then they told him to send his bill. He now sent them a bill, £7,000. They were like, how? You just touched 3 switches, and then you touched another 2 switches, making 5 switches, and then you pulled one handle. You did 6 things. How is the bill £6,000? Then the guy sent the breakdown of the bill. He said £5 for touching 3 switches, 10 for touching switches. in the handle. The remaining 5,900 or something for knowing which switches to pull and which handle to turn. The reason why many of you are spending hours hustling to eat the bread of sorrow is because you don't know the direct route to where you are going. You have to go through other people. Somebody came to me and said, Daddy Freeze, I was criticizing a church movement the other day, and I was like, what's the church doing with so much income they're making? And the guy said, and that the church could invest in AI, for instance. And the guy was like, Daddy Freeze, why don't you invest in AI? I don't have public funds. The church has access to public funds. I don't have public funds, so I can't build a $2 million company, for instance. But the church has $2 million. But guess what? With experts like this gentleman here, they can teach you how to get access to funds, how to doctor your plan in such a way that when you walk into a bank, the bank sees you and they see income. The bank is going to loan you $20 million if you can show them, because the bank doesn't like keeping money in their vault. They want to give you $20 million and get back 25 in a year. So the bank is interested in giving you money. But the problem is the bank is not going to give you money so you can go to the strip club. The bank is going to give you money if they know you know what you're doing. How do they know what you're doing? By looking at your credit rating. If you have a high credit rating, it shows that when you borrow, you pay back. If you have a good business plan, it shows that you have something you want to hedge this money on. You don't just want to take it home, throw a party, hire a couple of strippers, some musicians, fly on a private jet a couple of times, and the money is gone. Then you come to the bank like a typical Nigerian and say, hey, I'm sorry, the money I finished. I don't know what to do. The money just finished like that. And then they seize your house. No. The bank is in the business of giving you money. You don't have, in Nigeria now, if I need 100 million naira, I literally have to go and get 100 million naira. Abroad, I don't even need 1 naira in the 100 million. As long as I can show that all the money I've been borrowing in the last 10 years, I've paid back all. So how do we get access to these things? We've got this gentleman here with us. His name is Chuma. And he's going to tell us everything. Of course, not everything, because he wants you to attend his mentorship class. But not be everybody get mind to attend mentorship class. So give us small so that they go make up their mind. Just small. Let them lick small icing.
Okay, so there's this particular event I'm holding. Okay, is a paid event. Okay, it's a paid.
Oh, the event you held was not a paid event. It
yes.
Was
so the last time was a free masterclass. Okay, and we had a whole lot of people come in, and like a whole lot of people we oversubscribed beyond what the capacity could handle. So we had to create 2 classes. So yes.
Oh.
So this time around is a paid class, to try to limit that. All right. Now, this particular masterclass is for Airbnb. Okay, I'm going to be teaching people.
Hey,
this.
Very marketable. Chai. How, Mr. I need this class. How much is
$147.
Yeah. $147.
So this, I think we really need to hear from Bob W. He's been asking you to, connect.
I've been sending him requests. Okay, yes, finally joined. Tommy, let's see your face. So.
Maybe he's not paying attention right now, so I'll keep going.
Yeah. Tommy. All right, we can't see your face. We are seeing your boxers. Somebody said, are there going to be any discounts for Daddy?
Yes. So yeah. So in the last class, I did that. Okay, I did that in the last class. I did master for people that subscribe for the mentorship. I gave them a lot of this coming from you. All right, so that's something to.
Instagram needs their bugs, so we need him to talk because he's in a noise.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, but we are seeing your leg. We are not seeing your face.
Oh, really? And I can see your face, Daddy Freeze.
Reverse your camera.
Yes. Pass your camera.
Can you see me?
We are seeing your television.
Yeah.
We are seeing a lady in your... And now we are...
Oh, Daddy Freeze. Sorry about that. Sorry for the mix-up.
It's okay. What's that?
Yeah, good evening, Nigeria. Daddy Freeze, I want to appreciate Mr. Chuma for this rare opportunity. We had a class in January 28 and 29. It was over. He loaded us so much. We learned so much about flip and fix, about Airbnb arbitrage, about MLS, about ARV comparable. In fact, it was about 10 hours class for free. It really opened our eyes to the sweet spot, something like why we shouldn't go into real estate without proper mentors, because it could be a disaster. And not only that, he opened our eyes to the sites like PromptStream, like MLS, where we can learn and know more, or what to buy, what to do. And he give us more insight about BRRI, how to buy, rehab, refinance, and how to rent. And it's so nice and so wonderful a section that he even created an investment club for us to pull our resources together, for us to come and invest, and we can start making money from the investment club. I can't hear you, Daddy Freeze.
Chuma, sorry, I muted my mic so he could talk. Chuma, please, I wanted you to comment on this.
Yes. Okay. So that last class, it was superb. Okay. I bet it all. All right. I remember it was a free class. We oversubscribed. Like we had to create 2 classes. I had 2 laptops set in front of me, trying to coordinate the 2 classes at the same time. Okay. So it was really like, I mean, you've heard what he just said. All right. So yeah, it's something that you want to take advantage of if you are, if you want to get into the real estate business, or if you want to get into Airbnb business. Okay. I go real deep. I don't scratch the surface. I go real deep to show you everything that you need to know. Okay. The strategies that you need to implement. Okay. Like I bet everything up. Okay, so I mean, we had to even come up with an investment that I had to quickly put together. Okay, for the members, that are serious, and already they started making progress. Okay, so that's something else I needed to, mention along the line. So in this particular masterclass, which I'm inviting, everybody, okay, we are talking about Airbnb in particular, okay, not really Airbnb, B&B business, okay, because I'm going to touch every other aspect of it, and different areas of it, the strategies that you're going to be using, okay, the different strategies, how you can scale to 6 figures in less than 6 months. Okay, how to get that your first years if you don't own any property. I'm talking about, how to get started even if you don't own any property. I do Airbnb. I own my properties, okay, which I'll still show you how to switch along the line, okay, to owning these properties. Like I said, control, okay, control. I advocate for control, not just the Airbnb arbitrage, where you rent from a landlord and do your thing, okay? Just don't own in your name. Put it in business name. That's what I keep telling people, okay? Put it in the business name. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing all of this, how to get started, even if you have no experience at all, how to get started and how to identify profitable locations. Not all locations are profitable. Not all places are profitable. Okay? Not all, yes. How you identify all this, how you pick your niche, even in the B&B business. Okay? Yes, there are different niches. Not a lot of people know that. Okay? That's where I come in. Okay? So all these things will be sharing, bearing it all. Okay? But this class, I want it kind of, unique, people that are ready to take action. Okay, and yes, it's gonna have to cost you just a little, a little fee, which is $147. But I mean, you just have to put your money where your mouth is. Okay, and yeah, so that's yes. So somebody here says states doesn't allow Airbnb in location that you don't live there. That is not correct. Okay, that's all right.
Oh, wow.
So states and cities, some of them have their regulation, but remember, you're a business. You're a business. You can be in any location at all. That's why I keep saying this. Do things in your business name. Okay, separate your business from your person. I don't need to live in Florida. Okay, but I am in Florida right now. Okay, trying to set up Airbnbs. No matter no matter the state, no matter the it's got nothing to do with that. And then in particular, in this particular masterclass, I'm going to be pointing out, especially for people that live outside of the US, because a lot of people, try to reach me. How can they do it in Europe? How can they do it in Japan? How can they do it in London? A lot. I'm going to specifically pick out 2 countries outside of the US, and I'm going to go into details, analyze the specific location, okay, and show you all the different strategies and how you're going to be successful doing it in those states. Yes, some states are beginning to clamp down on Airbnb in the US, okay, because the thing is this, which is also good for me and you, okay, it's also good for me and you. Okay, the thing is this, people now don't have places to rent. You see the thing, they don't have places to rent, as in family, people that want to live in the properties. Okay, now what happens is this, when they put the restriction, now they have stopped other people from coming in and starting the same business. Okay, now you know what happens when there's a limit in supply, price goes up. So that's exactly what you're going to be seeing, and this is the time to get in before they see restrictions, on who can start and who cannot start. You see that? So yes, the governments are doing all of that to, make homes available for people that want to live. Because they can't just turn everywhere to, short term. Where are people going to live? The workers, the people that work, the regular 9 to 5. Where are they going to live? You see that? So they're trying to carve out for them, but just like the hotel system is not going to stop, Airbnb is still not going to stop. It's going to keep expanding, no matter how you. The only thing is that they're going to stop some people from coming in. Okay, this is the time to get in before they make restrictions, that will stop you from getting into particular cities and keep you maybe outside of, where the main thing is happening. So this is the time to get in. Yes. So
let me ask you a question. How profitable is Airbnb business?
It's very profitable. Okay. Now, depending on the state or the city where you are doing the business, some people have seen 7 figures. Okay, annually. Some people have seen 6 figures annually. Yes. And remember, you don't. Yes. Depending on the capacity.
That's over
yes.
$1 million.
Yes. Over $1 million.
From one
over $1 million. Yes. From one property. One property.
You
from
$1 million
but it's going to be a big
property.
one. It's not just it's not just a regular 2-bedroom. You have to offer something more than that. Luxury. You have to go luxury. Yeah, it happens that we are going to be sharing all of that. I'm going to show you. I mean, this is not just talk. I'm going to show you the statistics. Okay, and then, like I say, it also depends on your city. If your city is a small, city, you will not have that. Yeah. So, location, location.
What does B&B is?
Yes, bed and breakfast.
Wow. So you're going to teach people how to get into the fix and
This
flip.
is not a class for it, but I do that.
Oh, okay. This class is strictly for Airbnb.
But then, if you want to take my fix and flip class, then you can. It's also on my site. You can also buy that particular course. All right.
Okay. I want a question of how long does it take you? If I join your class today for fix, how long will it take for me to start my first investment?
Let's say if you join, right? First thing you have to do is you create your LLC, or you create a business. So you have to be able to run it as a business. I keep advocating that. It doesn't cost a lot of money. It doesn't take time. Within 2-3 days, you should have your LLC ready to start doing business, depending on the state where you live. Okay. So now, once that part is done, the next thing is finding the property. Okay, that it's distressed property. That's what we try to go for, distressed property, because you want to buy something that is distressed, so you have room to be able to force value on the property by fixing it up, changing the landscape, upgrading it. Now you have increased the value of the property, and then you will cash out the difference from what you bought and rehab to the ARV, or the cost that you fix it up. Okay, so that is so the time frame. The finding, you cannot really put a particular time on the finding. Okay, especially if you're trying to find depending on what you are looking for. But yeah, within 4 weeks, you should be able to have something within 4 weeks if you're just starting out. Okay, for myself, it's easier because I already have a system in place where I do find off-market deals. Okay, I have a team that I pay. Okay, and they use all my Daddy Freeze, are you still there? Oh, okay. So I have a team. That's all they do for me. Finding all these distressed properties. So for somebody like me, it's easier because I know what next to get on. Okay, but somebody starting new, okay, you're gonna have to learn how to find those deals. So within 4 weeks, it's possible to find your first deal, and then Yes, within 4, as like I said, as somebody that is new, brand new. Yes.
Awesome, 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 awesome. That makes a lot of sense. Now, Airbnb, what do you need to start?
So for Airbnb, if you do not own any property, like I keep saying, there are, different strategies. If you don't own any property, there's what you call Airbnb Arbitrage. Okay, this is where you rent a property from a landlord or a property management. Okay, now you get this property from them with, a clause allowing you to sublet. Okay, so yes, so allowing you to sublet. Okay, now when you do that, is now remaining a furnishing. Okay, in some places, like in where I am right now in Orlando, Florida. Okay, there's a lot of property owners or landlords already have furnished apartments waiting to rent. You see that? So depending on where you are, you may have to spend about $7,000 to $10,000 on the low scale, okay, to furnish your Airbnb. And guess what? I'll be teaching. Have the money, okay? How to get the financing, creative financing. And then another thing is that people that have, let's say, their own homes, and you have a basement, okay, or you have a spare room, or you are what they call here empty nesters, okay? That is when all your children have left home. Now you live in a large home, empty rooms. That's an Airbnb for you, okay? Now you can rent one of those rooms or some of those rooms out and make some money. You see that? That's how you create passive income. Money you don't have to, keep working for it to come in.
The bread of sorrow. You don't have to and walk to eat the bread of sorrow. All right, so how do people join in? This is so simple, guys. It's www.wealthfasttrack.com. There's only in fast track, not fast and track. It's FASTRACK. So maybe you should spell it fasttrack.com.
Fasttrack.com.
Fast.
Yes.
That will help you spot fast track. So you don't have two T's. It's fast rack. Fast and rack. RACK. Check it out right now. I want to ask the gentleman who joined us, is there anything else you want to say?
I want to really encourage people to take the course of Mr. Chuma, because he really opened our eyes to the secrets and the nitty-gritty of real estate. And he told us one thing that I've never heard anywhere, even from all these great real estate. He can give us 3 H of Airbnb arbitrage, which I wouldn't want to see here. Anybody that goes to that class will get the secret, the 3 H of Airbnb arbitrage. That is the key to get a good deal in that Airbnb. And also, anybody that goes to that class can ask questions. Mr. Chuma is very patient and he teaches to the details. Thank you.
All right. Let me
okay.
Gentleman,
there's something I want to point out. Okay, the last class. So I understand there's some people that try to sign up. Okay, the emails we sent out for the invitation went into their spam folder. Okay, so if sign up for this class, please watch out for the email, even in your spam folder. And if you still are interested in the recording of the last class, okay, if you're interested in recording of the last class, it's still available. It's available on the site, okay, for $97. It's available on the website for $97. You're going to see it there. If you're interested in learning, about real estate, how to get started, that's the last class.
Okay. Someone says, Coach Wilfred Asukwo says, can he come live?
Yes.
Can he join you live?
Bring him.
Ask questions. Okay. So, Wilfred, I'm going to give you 3 minutes to ask a question.
Hey, Wilfred.
How you doing?
Good. And you?
Will,
I'm doing good.
How are you?
Yeah,
so go ahead.
Off, thanks. I was just listening to some of your nuggets. It kind of resonates. I have so much interest in coming into Airbnb in a couple of months. But I was going to ask, I was the one that talked to you about the DC area. They don't allow Airbnb if you're not living in that property.
Okay.
I was wondering if it does apply like that to other states.
Okay, so different states or different cities, have different regulations.
Okay.
So some states, well, it's not statewide. Some cities, okay, are beginning to come up with different things to stop other people from coming in. Okay. To stop new, from coming in, just to reserve something for families to live in.
Okay.
So that's one thing, when you're getting started, first of all, the first thing is to know your city. Find out, call the city planning office, find out what they require. A lot of places now are beginning to come up, with some, kind of restriction. Okay. With kind of restriction, on what you can do and what you cannot do. But one thing I know is that all of them allow you in the house where you live to be able to rent it out on Airbnb as long as you live on that same property.
That same property. Okay. Yeah.
That's what has been across the board. But then others are beginning to give some criteria if you don't live on the property, telling what you need to do. For instance, in one of my properties, the city have this regulation. They made me send out a mail to 112 property owners in the neighborhood. 112 property owners to get their consent and their complaint before I can do Airbnb on that property. You see that? And then not only that, they have a requirement allowing the immediate property owners around that area, like bordering your property, you have to get 55% consent from them before you can do it. And guess, in my own case, it was different because it was easy because I also own a property close to the one I'm trying to use for Airbnb. So I was able to sign off for myself, from the other property, So different cities have different, regulations. So the very first thing is, what is the requirement?
Okay. So that makes sense. Yeah, because I was exploring. I live in Maryland, so the DMV area neighborhood. That's in exploring. That's why I found out about DC. I was really exploring DC because DC is business driven. It's not a neighborhood because of the state capital, which is the White House. So I found out. Now, my next question to you is: you reside in Florida. If you want to get into, and then your last class, you were focused on getting into real estate. Do you have license to practice real estate businesses in other states, or your license in Florida allows you to practice across the 50 states in the US?
Okay, so as a real estate investor, you do not need any license to get into real estate. As a real estate investor, not as an agent. If you're an agent or you're a broker, you need a license in the state.
Okay.
Where as an investor, you don't need any license. You can go to any state, set up your LLC, and transact in that state.
And you that state. So
Yeah.
when you will transact in that state, when you want to deal in that particular neighborhood or in that state, do you need the real estate agent to be able to do that?
There's nothing real estate agent about this.
Okay. So you just walk in and then invest?
Yes, you just know the city.
Okay.
Yeah, regulation and all of that.
Okay.
Once that that is clear, and then also look at HOA. Somebody asked about HOA. So I want to use an example. He said HOA does not allow for that. That's not correct. Okay, that is correct. Okay. In where I am right now, Orlando, Florida, yes, HOAs allow that. Okay. Because it's part of the community. Okay. Some places, yes, they may not allow it.
I want to understand this, Chuma. So I want to invest in real estate in Florida now, for example, where I don't mean buying. It could be timeshares. Timeshares quite different. It's still. I mean, investing in real estate, buying properties there. So if I want to buy properties in Florida, where you are now, who do I go through? How do I now bring my money? I said I have $500,000. I want to buy a property there. Don't I still need to have a real estate person who will be able to guide me, show me where I need to buy that land or that property, so that property can now yield a proper return of investment?
Okay, so if depending on the investment you're talking about, for instance, like I said, I'm in Orlando, Florida. Yes, I still do work with agents. Okay, but I don't use agents to make a decision.
Okay.
I don't use agents to make any real estate decision. I use them to understand the environment, to validate, not really to understand, to validate the environment. I do the research by myself. I have all the tools. As somebody in the real estate industry, I have all the tools, okay, to find the property. If I want to use it, let's say for Airbnb, I know where to focus because I have the data, okay? And like throughout this week, I've been trying to, buy something real estate for Airbnb, and all the property and agents sent to me, I turn all of them down.
Okay.
Yes. Why? Because they don't meet the needs for Airbnb, and real estate agents have no clue about what we do as a real estate investors. Okay, except for few, but most of them have no clue. Okay, they assume you just want to live in the house.
Okay,
that's all they know. But I use a different standard, which first of all, like I was talking about in my training, how to know if a particular location is going to be profitable. If it's not profitable, why? See that? So yes, we work on two different standards.
Okay, that kind of makes sense now. So real estate investor is quite different from a real estate agent who will facilitate. Okay.
Yes. All right. And then something else. Okay. Buy a property, I really don't need an agent.
Okay.
To buy, I really don't need an agent. Once I know, like I said, I have the data, I have the tools. Okay. Once I know what I want to buy, I don't need an agent. Okay. While it's not going to come, I'm not going to pay an agent because it's the seller that pays for an agent. Okay. Yes, I may decide to use an agent. if I'm the one buying. But if I'm the one selling, I know how to cut off the agent because I don't want to pay the agent the 3% fee in most cases, right? Patronize agents, okay? Patronize agents.
Yeah, but I'm asking this because sometimes even when you go to all those real estate websites,
Yes.
like at the end of the day, you still see the agent's name there. You reach out to the agent directly that is listing the house or the property before you can proceed. You might not use your own personal agent, but you reach out to the person directly, and then the person will now talk to you, and then you will take it off from there.
Okay, this is something I teach in my class. Okay, talking about where you shop. If you shop retail, okay, if you shop on the MLS, you know, on Zillow, yes, they're already out there. They already have an agent. You can bypass them.
Yeah.
If you shop off market deals,
Off market.
There's no agent in the first place. Okay, so that's
yeah, that definitely I just got to learn about that recently, that if you shop the off market, you don't really need them.
yeah.
As a matter of fact, you tend to see the market even before they come public.
Yeah.
And then you come for it.
Yes.
Okay. That makes a whole lot of sense. It kind of spreads. Well, no knowledge is lost. Knowledge is power. You one needs to chop belleful first before you say, well, all those numbers you are calling does look cheap. Oga Chuma, you person will go find house when you want to do Airbnb. You go seek or find money to take furniture. Why all that is going on? Person was supposed to chop, drink water, eat life and everything.
Yeah. So talking about that, okay, which I will be going into detail in the Airbnb class, is how you can get started without even using your own money. Okay, without your own money, how to get the financing. Okay, so that you can get it started, and then from the profit and the revenue you generate, now you can pay back money you and it's pretty easy, I tell you.
Yeah, it is, but that should be
once you have a good credit, it's pretty easy.
Okay, now you're talking. So there are still some nuances that still need to put in place before those things can actually move very, 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 very smoothly.
Yes.
As long as you let a lot of people know that this comes with expectations and hard work, and make it that you pay attention to other side things, they will be fine. They'll be fine.
Okay, so what is in here?
It makes a whole lot of sense. Being a real estate agent or being a real estate investor, that kind of makes make a lot of sense. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So someone is asking, how do we get off market deals? So yes, so that's one of the things I taught in my last class. So if you need, if you want to watch that master class, I have the recording. If you want to access it, it's on my website, www. It's pinned here on the westfasttrack.com. So you can buy that for $97. Okay, if you want a recording of the last class, okay, go there and get it. We discussed in detail how to find off-market deals. Okay.
Are you a licensed?
So I'm not a licensed agent, and just like I was telling Wilfred, you do not need to have license to become a real estate investor. I'm a real estate investor. I'm not an agent. I don't work for commission. I pay the commission.
Awesome. All right, guys, you need to be a part of this. www.wealthfastrack.com. Fast track, but with only one T. So it's Fast Rack, FASTRACK. Go there now and register. The course is only $147 only. The last class was oversold. You can see the guy has an idea about what he's talking about. If you want to learn how to make residual income, earlier on we're talking about eating the bread of sorrow. Someone says, can you work in Nigeria?
Yes, and you can work and in particular, okay, in this class that is coming up on the February 14th, this particular class. So I'm going to be using data from different countries, 2 different countries. Okay, so if you're in that particular class, let's say you are from Malaysia or Japan, okay, just identify right there. Okay, we are going to go live into Malaysia, and I'm going to show you statistics, data that supports what you need, and everything.
So guys, if you haven't registered now, go and register www.wealthfastrack.com. Wealthfastrack, F-A-S-T-R-A-C-K, wealth, W-E-A-L-T-H, fast, F-A-S-T, rack, R-A-C-K.com, www.wealthfastrack.com or wealthfastrack.com. Go check it out now. Don't lose out on this amazing opportunity. So as we round off, are there any thoughts you have, any ideas you want to share?
The thing is this: it boils down to put your money where your mouth is. Okay, get a mentor, and I am one. Okay, sign up for this particular class. Okay, if you want to learn about Airbnb business in detail, like the other guy mentioned, I don't spend anything. I go real deep. I explain everything for you. Okay, so get into this class. Even the last class, if you missed it, like I understand some of you mixed the last class. Okay, the recording is there on the website. The recording of that last class is there on the website. You can as well get the recording for $97. Okay. And yes, make this year a year where sorry. Oh yes, make this year count. So yeah, that's what I'll leave you with.
All right, Chuma, thank you so much, guys. Once again, it's www.wealthfastrack.com, WEALTHFASTRACK.com. Get it down now. Go there now. Many of you are working 9 to 5. Some of you are doing 3 jobs. Some of you are doing 16-hour shifts as nurses. And at the end of the day, you are eating the bread of sorrow. Psalm 127 verse 2. It is useless to wake up early in the morning and walk till late in the evening only to come and eat bread of sorrow. So why don't you sit down, diversify your portfolio, look for opportunities so you work as hard and you will still get paid. Okay, you want to be a nurse, you love nursing, no problem. You don't have to do 16 hours because if you are doing 16-hour shift, it's because you are looking for money. Let's get an Airbnb business on the side. Do your normal nurse shifts 4 or 5 days a week, and then make sure your income is supplemented on the side with something profitable. Of course, I say this all the time. Any investment you make is at your own risk. Daddy Freeze is not a financial advisor. Neither does Daddy Freeze carry the liability of any investment you make. All investments are risky to an extent. But when you go with a mentor, the mentor helps you minimize your risk, helps you understand your risk, helps you understand the terrain, helps give you direction, helps reveal some things that he probably learned over a course of 3-4 years. He gives it to you in 4 or 5 minutes. That's why mentorship is important. A foolish man never learns. A wise man learns from his mistake. A very wise man does not need to make mistake to learn. He learns from a mentor. A wise man learns from a mentor. The poorest man alive is the man who cannot afford to pay attention. The moment you can afford to pay attention, you are not poor, even if your bank account is screaming otherwise. So ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, jump on this opportunity. Go there, see if you can learn something that will benefit you. Let this year not end with you still eating the bread of sorrow. Wealthfastrack.com. www.wealthfastrack.com. www.wealthfastrack.com. Go there now. I'll spell it out. WEALTHFASTRACK.com. Go there now. Last week's free course that you could have attended for free is now $97. This one that is being paid for $147. Don't miss it too. It might be $200 when they upload it on the site. So go there, www.wealthfastrack.com, and check it out. And then when we convene again some other time, you might be the one sharing your story and telling us what you gained or what you learned and how you've applied it to your business. So thank you very much, Chuma.
So that'll be all.
Else
It's pretty sunny out here. Very beautiful weather. I love it here. And we'll get something done real soon.
All right, guys. That's Chuma. He used to work in oil and gas. He gave up oil and gas to work in real estate. That will tell you something. Something they happen for that real estate. No go wait. Chuma. Guys, www.wealthfastrack.com. Check it out. Goodbye.